I know that you also, with this album, made a point of being all together in the same room to record rather than people emailing in or Dropboxing their parts.
Yeah, we did some writing that way, but nothing ever seemed to get to the finish line that way. There's something about the camaraderie and if we all push the thing up the hill, it has a little more meaning to it. And like the songwriting has never been more of a true collective. So I think everything about it is like, at some point, maybe like you two or something, we kind of figuratively said like, look, we're doing this all together. Let's say that we're doing it all together. But this record is truly like all the parts came from someone different. And that's what made it feel like, okay, yeah, like we'll know when it's done because everyone will feel 100% about it kind of thing. And when you do it over the internet, it's kind of easy to make quote unquote progress, but it doesn't sometimes get to the heart of anything because you're not having that, you're not sort of, I don't know, testing the idea really and seeing how far it can bend because everyone's getting their way at home. Kind of
right. Well, I even notice in our work environment here, not everybody has returned after the pandemic. Some people are still working remotely. And it really changes the dynamic because creativity it's a collaborative thing. And, I've always thought that, a conversation is a collaboration and songwriting is as well. The only difference is we get to eavesdrop on your conversation. The song is the conversation. So,
I think there's an idea that you might be able to get around it because it's a pain in the ass. But the idea of doing writing online, like it was very appealing, but you realize like, at the end of it, that hard part is the important part and you can't cut it out of the process.
Now, this album, Last Night on Earth, it was a return after, a return in terms of new music after almost a full decade. But, I went back and I looked at your touring schedules over the last couple of decades. And I mean, you guys it's not like you weren't doing anything. You were touring in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Then the pandemic hit. So was the pandemic kind of the point where you kind of stopped and thought, okay, let's reflect on where we're going, what we want to do?
Well, yeah, I mean, we reflected whether we wanted to or not, but also that's the year I had a kid. So it was everything sort of changed, right? In like the most cliche way possible, but when it happens to you, feels different. But yeah, we had all the time in the world, but yeah, we didn't do well remotely, but I was I found myself quite busy.
As being a father,
trying to figure out how to be a dad.
Yeah.
But after a couple of years, I think we said, all right, look, we need to finish up some of these ideas. Like what shape is the album going to take? And it took a while to cross that finish line. But what we ended up doing is just kind of like writing a song, taking a look at it, writing it again, and rewriting like truly 4 or 5 times for each song. And that's the luxury that time can afford you. But at a certain point, you just got to say, all right, let's put a record out.
Yeah, but I think that's true in any creative act. I mean, James Joyce still would have been writing, just blanked
Ulysses.
on. Yeah, thank you.
Right? Yeah.
If the publisher hadn't said, no, you're done now. It's going.
Yeah, there was a deadline that really helped the whole thing. Like we were over the hump, but then as soon as there was like, okay, what was it, like April 20th or something? It was like, that's the day you have to give it to the label. It helped it tremendously because otherwise, there's always that like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, we can fix that.
Yeah.
James, did you become a dad too?
Yeah, but
okay.
That was before the pandemic. But yeah, my son's like 11 and a half years old now.
Okay, I want to talk to you about being dads, but let's hear the title track from the new album, which do we call it the 7th or the 8th?
Well, I guess this is the 8th album we've been a part of, but it's maybe the 7th Finger 11 record.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah. Wonderful vocal performance on that, Scott. That's oh, sorry. Here,
Thank you very
there
much.
we go.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Scott Anderson and James Black from Finger 11 in the studio right now. They're in concert tonight at Mtelus, part of that great triple bill, and that is the title track from the brand new album. And just before we heard that, you guys were talking about becoming dads. For you, Scott, more recent experience. I got to ask you, what does it feel like now that you're a father and a recording artist, both of you, a recording artist who's been active now for 30 years? So how does it feel to be up there on the stage and be looking out at an audience with kids there in the audience singing along to your songs, some of whom may well be even younger than you were when you started? What does that feel like?
That's an absolute trip. That's the dream, right? Like the to have this. I guess we could really, truly, definitively call it a music career. We've been at this for long enough, and I think the perspective now. I just feel luckier than I have ever felt, right? Because this is, a whole bunch of stuff has changed, but the main core of like us just getting together and trying to make stuff that we enjoy, and the idea that we still get to do it. I mean, come on, it's the dream is still happening. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, like music for me is it very attached to my dad and my dad's record collection, and so when you see that happening again and like another cycle of it, it's I don't know, it's pretty heavy duty actually to think like, okay, if in some kid's house Finger 11 was on all the time, and so that's part of the fabric of what he thinks rock and roll is. It's like what, a rite of passage or something. I know that it's like that. It sounds like highfalutin, but
we were speaking of record collections, we were talking off air about how one's musical tastes change over the years, and one should still stay open to hearing new things. So, seeing as how you are going across Canada, a lot of it in a tour bus, what gets played? What's the playlist? What's the road trip playlist, and who gets to decide?
Well, I usually take over the front lounge, and in the name of like warming up vocally, but that said, I put on, Jerry Rafferty and like
City to City.
Yeah, I like City to City, but I think Night Owl might be my favorite, which is that's the one that doesn't have Baker Street. Although Baker Street does it gets its time.
Yeah,
But anything I can sort of like vocally sing to. But I mean if we're closer to the gig, then we have to have some more higher energy stuff. So I just the short rock playlist would be like Helmet and Rammstein, or AC/DC, things that are sort of like that'll. If you're not in the mood to play a show after that, then, there's nothing else I can do for you.
Speaking of big shows, so a year ago, you guys were here, almost exactly a year ago at the Bell Center with Creed and Mammoth as well. Awesome. How was Wolfgang Van Halen? Did you pick his brain for some stories?
I'll tell you, I got really, really close to saying something. He was in catering, and I wanted to tell him that I heard an interview that he did, and he just seemed like a really approachable guy, and also I was a fan of his music, but he really didn't look like he wanted to be bothered, and I said, well, okay, that's fine. I'll get another chance, and guess what happened? Never got another chance.
Oh, yeah.
These
you got to jump on those moments.
You really do, and that's my advice to anybody. If you're touring with a band, go say hi. You might not get another chance for whatever reason, so I don't know. If he's listening now, dude, I'm a fan. It was really cool to tour with you for a couple days.
You also played at the Bell Center back in 2003 with Ozzy Osbourne. And with him passing away this past July, it must have brought back some memories and thoughts.
Yeah, that was, definitely a career highlight tour, that one. He was getting all set for a big U.S., must have been Ozfest or something, so he was playing like 3 hours a night, and we were getting to watch that every night, and just they were trying out every single possible song. And his band, like Jason Newsted was in the band, and Zach Wilde and Mike Borden from Faith No More. It was like just everything about it was like high level.
I guess you learn how to be a professional musician that way, eh? Watching guys like that, getting to see it up close.
Yeah, and seeing that it was for real, like he was really singing, and there was no fakery or like big kind of, the big show has lip sync or anything. It was just full real deal rock and roll, but on such a big scale. And there's just 3 hours of songs every
right
night. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing.
It was a good gig. It's just that everybody was waiting for Ozzy, and then Finger 11 had to go up there and win hearts and minds in 30 minutes, and that was tough.
Yeah, that's got to be challenging.
It was, but we were up for it, and we won almost every single time. It felt more like it just felt like a little bit of work. We don't work for a living, obviously, but it was a little tougher than it normally is.
You guys recorded a live album here in Montreal back in, I think it was like 2010, I think, around there.
Did we record something? I mean, it's possible. I don't think we've ever put
it's called Live in Montreal.
Like a live session.
iTunes, yeah.
Oh, okay, yep.
I remember now. An Apple Store maybe or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Scott Anderson and James Black. Sorry, what was that?
I just said it all kind of blurs together.
Yeah.
So
it has been 30 years.
We'd love to do a proper live album, but every time we do, it's one of those things like you could play a show and think like that was the best, and then when you listen back, it sort of undoes the magic. So it's tough to commit to a live recording because it's as it happens. It's got such magic to it. So,
Finger 11 are playing tonight, part of a triple bill, as we've been saying, with Tea Party, Headstones, all happening at Mtelus tonight. Either of you have a favorite Tea Party song?
I mean,
The River.
You're gonna say The River. Okay, I'm taking The Bazaar.
Okay.
Okay, right? And why for each?
The River it has this riff that like. I don't know. When I was young, I was like, okay, we have to make riffs like that. We kind of have to steal this a little bit here because this is awesome. Just the way it breaks down in the middle, and like I don't know that it's in Canadian rock history, it's way up there as one of the best riffs ever, I'd say.
Now you're going for the more exotic sounds.
Yeah, but I mean, same reason. I mean, come on, that riff just never leaves you once you hear it. It's just, I love it. You get to hear it live, and it sounds exactly how you want it to sound. It's great.
Hmm. Well, Scott and James, thank you guys so much for coming in. Good luck on the rest of the tour. Are you going all the way out to the East Coast?
We sure are.
That's right.
Yeah, that was kind of important to us, so I'm glad we.
Halifax, where else?
That's a good question.
St. John's?
You're gonna
again
check your concert listing.
Okay, all right.
I know
I'm just asking because they're having a huge snowstorm today.
Oh,
so
wow. Yeah, we're gonna get out there, but consult anybody other than the lead singer for details.
Well, again, congrats on the new album, Last Night on Earth. Whether it's the 7th or the 8th, it's a great album.
Thank you very much.
Let's take you back, going back to 2000, and I have to check my sheet, 2007.
Jeez.
Finger 11 and Paralyzer.